Okay, Andrea, I think you've started the recording, but I'm still, my video camera is still switched off. I think you have to allow me to restart it. But I hope that you can hear me. Then I will continue with the presentation, which I will share again. So this should be working. Excellent. So welcome again to everybody. Just to quickly run through the agenda of today, I will start with a few opening words on the general concept of transnational and virtual access, on what we offer in the RICH Europe framework to support this this EU actions designed to provide researchers with access to research infrastructures. Then we will move to the second part of the webinar, which is a bit special or a bit particular webinar as opposed to previous RICH Europe webinars on transnational and virtual access, because we're organizing this webinar not only in cooperation with our Cluster 2 and Cluster 5 projects, where we were very happy to have 3 research infrastructure access programs present the TNA opportunities. But we will first hear a little bit about the policy background framework on cooperation with Latin America, as this webinar is especially designed towards our colleagues from Latin America and the the Caribbean area of the world. So very happy to have Sabina Guailupo with us from the EULAC RESINFRA Plus project, and Claudia Romano from the EU CELAC Working Group on Research Infrastructures from the Technical Secretariat. So let me quickly say a few words on transnational and virtual access before we start. So what are we really talking about here? Transnational virtual access means that the access to a research infrastructure.
Sorry to interrupt you. You are not sharing the screen.
So it stopped again. Oh, this is working again now?
Yes, now it is working perfectly.
So I hope that you could see the agenda before, otherwise I will go back to it at a later point of the presentation. So the access that we're talking about can be physical or virtual, and it is access of researchers to research infrastructures. Transnational access, well, you can read it on the screen here, ensures free of charge access to the best European research infrastructures. This includes travel, accommodation, subsistence costs, which may be reimbursed by the project via its budget. This opportunity is open to all European researchers, and also, and this is what makes this relevant for our audience in Latin America and the Caribbean region, to researchers from non-EU countries. So basically, it can be used access, or research infrastructures can access research. Well, researchers can access research infrastructures free of charge, and this is supported via Horizon Europe through a number of projects. 3 of them are with us here today, and you can basically read all the basics in a leaflet that we have prepared via RICH Europe. And the leaflet, this is just the first page of it, is available in English and in Spanish on our website. So here in the presentation, which will be shared with you, are the links, but you will also have the opportunity to basically access all the information via our website. What is important is that as RICH Europe, we also offer a database on all the TNAs, or transnational and virtual access opportunities, within Horizon Europe. So basically our website is the repository where where researchers or you as NCPs or stakeholders can have a look and search within, let's say, your thematic area of research, the opportunities that are at the moment offered via EU funds to access research infrastructures. Yeah, so as I said before, we are organizing this webinar in cooperation with two partnering projects or processes, political processes from the EU CELAC region. And I hope that Sabina Guailupo is here with us now. Maybe Sabina, you can give me a sign, excellent. And then I will stop my presentation and let you give a quick overview of what you're doing within the RESINFRA Plus project.
Okay. Thank you, Johannes, and thank you very much for all the participants attending this session today. I would like to share my presentation with you. Try to briefly explain. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Try to briefly explain to all the participants, to all the attendees to this session, this EU-LAC RESINFRA Plus project, and why this possibility, transnational access, is quite important for not only for the participants, for the partners within the project, but for all our stakeholders. And when I say stakeholders, I mean on one hand policymakers, and the other hand the researchers. The RESINFRA Plus project is a very special project because it's the type of action is coordination and support action, but specifically is a policy coordination action. It was funded under the call Infra DEP 2023 with a duration of 24 months with a, well, not a very high budget, but with 19 partners from 15 different LAC and Europe partners plus one affiliated entity. I can see one hand raised. I don't know if anyone wants to have.
Yeah, I think the colleague wanted to mention that we couldn't see the. Yeah. Let me take this over. Thank you. So the colleague probably wanted to raise his hand to say that we couldn't see the screen anymore. I think you were trying to share it again. Perhaps you can try sharing the presentation again. And now I think this is working. Perfect. Now it's working. Okay. So you can continue now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. As I said, well, one of the specific aspects of this consortium is of this project is the consortium, because in these 19 different partners, we are on the one hand ministry and funding agency, which means policymakers, and on the other hand, different research infrastructures. In this sense, we have the LifeWatch ERIC, Instruct ERIC, and the MIRI ERIC. In a previous project, because this is not the first one, we had a previous EU-LAC RESINFRA project. One of our partners, one of our research infrastructure were E-RIHS, which will be presented after our presentation. The objective of the RESINFRA Plus project is trying to establish a sustainable framework of collaboration, bi-regional collaboration between Europe and Latin America in the area of research infrastructures. For doing that, as I previously said, the first project, we didn't start from scratch. There was a previous project, EU-LAC RESINFRA, where one of our objectives or one of our results was developing or the implementation of 4 pilots, including research infrastructures, trying to prove not only the convenience, but the possibility to establish this sustainable framework of collaboration between Europe and Latin America, between the research infrastructure from Europe and Latin America and the Caribbean. On the other hand, we had a lot of collaboration with different research infrastructures under the umbrella of ESFRI. I mean, for example, Bioimagine, Eusolaris, EPOS, eBrain, etc. And the main result of this project was the implementation, was the submission of the sustainability plan. In this sustainability plan, we try to, on the one hand, establish this framework of collaboration, on the one hand, promoting the internationalization of research infrastructures from both regions. On the other hand, obviously reinforcing the EU-LAC cooperation. On the other hand, performing the human capital development and capacity building. This is why I think this webinar is very important, is very interesting for all our stakeholders, because I think the TNA, the transnational access, is not the same, but it's very similar to or very connected with the linked with these ideas, including in the sustainability plan. On the basis of this sustainability plan, we designed this second project, EU-LAC RESINFRA Plus project, with the, as I said before, with the objective to establish this sustainable framework, taking into account 4 different aspects. On the one hand, increasing the visibility of the research infrastructure for both regions. We know that it's crucial that people from Europe or research infrastructure for Europe known research infrastructures eligible for this bi-regional cooperation in the Latin America and the Caribbean, and vice versa. On the other hand, we want to build a joint and complementary research infrastructure development, but where both regions can benefit. I mean, although RESINFRA Plus is a European project, it's a project funded by the Horizon European Framework Program, we try to establish these mechanisms that could be benefit for both regions. And on the other hand, from a political point of view, or more political point of view, we keep supporting the EU CELAC working group on research infrastructure that will be presented by my colleague Claudia Romano. And on the other hand, establish this sustainable framework of collaboration between Europe and the Latin America and the Caribbean. Here you can see briefly the different work packages of our project. The main result of the work package 1 will be the implementation of one dashboard, where you can see, or all of us, we can see not only the different research infrastructure, but the different collaboration between infrastructures from Europe and Latin America. And when I say collaboration, I mean not only project funded by the European framework, for example, but project funded by different initiatives, for example, the EU CELAC interest group, or even bilateral initiative. We include as well memorandum of understanding signed between different research infrastructure from both regions, and publication where we can find people from both regions as well. Under the work package 2 and work package 4, we are implementing different workshops, and the work package 2 more or specific in different under different thematic areas, for example, health, food security, biodiversity, climate change, ICT, etc. And under work package 4, we are implementing different workshops devoted to transversal or cross-cutting aspects, for example, funding or financial support, management, research infrastructure project, mission-oriented projects, etc. And finally, under work package 3, we are providing, or we are publishing different reports, cooperation report, or especially this framework of, or the main basis for this sustainable framework of collaboration. I don't want to spend much time, because I think the different presentations are quite interesting for this webinar, but I would like to show you different workshops already implemented, for example, in the area of health, biodiversity and climate change, energy, and different reports that can be found in our website, in the RESINFRA Plus project website. And in this project, we have implemented as well different study visits and staff exchanges. For example, the first one took place in Chile last year. One staff exchange at MIRI infrastructures in the University of Valencia, Spain, the Spanish hub or the Spanish partner of MIRI, ERIC. We implemented different workshops, for example, the role of research infrastructure in the implementation of mission. I think, I'm not sure it anymore. Wait.
Yeah, I think somebody else is sharing
the
screen. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, the implementation of the mission-oriented innovation policies, access models to research infrastructures, open science opportunity and challenges between Europe and the Latin America devoted to data and infrastructures at the heart of the ecosystems, etc. Upcoming activities, because we are finalizing the project now. The project will end next month, by the end of December of this year, but there is still pending one workshop that will take place next week, 3rd of December, devoted to ICT. And especially, I would like to mention the final event that will be held online. It will be on a virtual way, the 10th and 11th on December 2025. You could find more information, more details about the final event in our website and in our social media, especially LinkedIn. But anyway, we will send the practical and logistical information together with the agenda, the final agenda, to all of you in order to invite to all of you to attend this final event. That's all from my side. Thank you very much. If there is any question or any comment, I'm more than happy to answer. And thank you again for the invitation to this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabina, for the presentation and also for trying to be brief. I know this is difficult, but you've stuck to the time. We started a little bit late, so I think we can go a little bit beyond the foreseen time. But let's now move on to the next presentation by Claudia Romano. Claudia, I hope you're ready. Please take over as soon as you're ready. And then maybe just one more word for questions and answers. We have a dedicated slot in the end. So whenever there's a question, you could put it in the chat maybe before, and then maybe we can do this in writing. But otherwise, we'll have a quick question and answers session at the end of the meeting. So Claudia, without further ado, the floor is yours. Claudia, I hope you can hear us. Maybe you're still muted. Probably have to unmute yourself. See Nadia's screen, okay. But we can't hear anything, so maybe you still have to unmute yourself.
I don't know why.
No, now it's working. Now we can hear you.
Now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Yes.
We can hear you. Yeah.
Thank you
very
very much.
Presenting.
It's a good opportunity for our CELAC working group trying to share with you this new opportunity to know more about the transnational virtual access for all the Latin American and the Caribbean research, but not only for our side work. It's very important to try to make a new link with the EU research infrastructure. Then we consider that this opportunity to know more about the climate change research infrastructure, about the renewable energy, and about the heritage infrastructure for our side is very important in the sense that we need to try to build link more strong between both sides of the ocean. For that reason, for the EU-CELAC working group, I want to thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to compliment the information that Sabina was made, because our working group, I will share with you. Can you see or not? Sorry. We was working, as everybody know, we was great in the senior official meeting, and until today we have 10 meetings doing. As you know, this is an opportunity that all the Minister of High Authority from CELAC and from European team authorities work together and trying to design a roadmap to give us the main objectives are about our work. At this meeting, at this Chiri zone, we have a specific topic related with the research infrastructure, and in this way we was working for 8 years working in that. The next one, please. And the next one. And at this special work, the last one, we have 3 special topics. One is our working group, other is RESINFRA project, and on the other hand, we have the EULAC RESINFRA Plus project that Sabina was mentioned. In related with our CELAC working group, we made 15 intra-meeting because we prepare our teams, our delegates. We have our working group trying involve all the national institutions of science and technology around Latin American and the Caribbean countries. We try to coordinate and to ensure the capacity of the cooperation in the bi-regional sense. On the other hand, we try to identify our best practice that all the research infrastructure in Latin America and the Caribbean has, and because in the European side, they have ESFRI and E-RIHS that they have been working for more than 20 years, and we have to create this new space in Latin America, trying to articulate and trying to be open to work not only with LAC country, of course, is important, but our focus is trying to link with the research infrastructure in Europe. For that reason, this meeting could be a good opportunity to know how we can use in the better way the transnational virtual access. And the next one, please. We have this different structure to try to be more fastly or more efficiency, trying to give the opportunity to all the Latin American countries to be more involving, because Latin America is a huge continent, and we try to involve 22 delegates around the continent. The next one. The next slide, please. We made every 6 months different types of webinar or meeting, and we're trying to identify best practice. We're trying to identify the specific topics to work together, and to try to know each other, because sometimes there are different infrastructure in the region, but they need be more connected. And the same with the European side. The next one, please. We made, as Sabina mentioned, a difference between, we are very closely work with the RESINFRA project, because RESINFRA project and RESINFRA project Plus support our work. That is very important to work in the study visit. The Latin American and the Caribbean country identify some infrastructure to want to work with the European country. Then the European country come, and it's the same from the other side, the European country identify some specific infrastructure, and then the Latin American and the Caribbean country come to the European countries, the infrastructure, and work together and try to make some specific agreement or more, or present to other opportunities like Horizon or Maris Lodowska-Curie, or to present to the interest group, CELAC UA interest group. The next, please. And this is the other study visit that we made. The next, please. And we, in very link with the RESINFRA project, we identify in all Latin American country and try something like dashboard. We identify, every country identify the different infrastructure and the different areas, health, energy, biodiversity, and all the infrastructure, and identify if this infrastructure have agreement with the European countries, or if they have agreement with Latin American countries, how was the possibility to link with other, and how open they can be. And this is very important in the RESINFRA Plus. They update this information and put in more complex dashboard, who involve use it or base it in this map, and trying to be more interactive maps. The next one, please. And we work, we create since 2 years ago, LACFRI, that is a specific strategic forum, that is a mirror, starting mirror, that ESFRI is in Europe country, and we try to work together, and we try to give some information to try to be more sustainable, the coordination that we have between all the Latin American and the European country, and trying to do more link with some programs or international institutions that involve European countries and Latin American countries. And we create the next one, 5 specific hubs. Then every hub is coordinated by some Latin American country, as you can see, in health, food security, biodiversity and climate change, energy and new technology. And we have an advisory board who trying to support our work, trying to help the roadmap that every hub did, and we have at this moment and are ongoing, and it's very special for us because in the next one, and this is the
Claudia, may I ask you to conclude rather soon, so we have enough time for all the presentations on the TNA projects. So maybe 2 more minutes, so that
okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, there are the different hubs that we have in Latin American and the Caribbean country. The next one, please. And you can see they have until today they made a specific roadmap, and we have to coordinate with the other initiative that we have in the Latin American and with the European countries, and trying specific to support the last ministerial meeting that we have in September of this year, that the European Commission with the Ministry of Latin American and the European country made, and they select 3 specific areas to work: health, emerging technology, and biodiversity and energy. Then for us, it's very important because infrastructure is a transversal work that we have to support the new space that the European Commission created the last September with the European and the Latin American Ministry of Science and Technology of both continents. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you, Claudia, also for finishing so quickly now. So without further ado, Sabine, could I ask you to start presenting the opportunities that you are offering within your project? Thank you.
So good afternoon. Andrea, I don't know if you can share my
Yes, sure. I will share
presentation,
with you.
please.
Yes.
In the meantime, I can probably start. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for the invitation to this webinar. I myself will present the IRISCC Access Program.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, presentation mode, yeah.
Presentation mode.
Okay.
So I'll be presenting the IRISCC Access Program.
Yeah.
Just wait for a second till it appears again.
Okay. Do you see
Perfect.
the screen?
Yes,
okay.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're
I'll be
welcome.
presenting the IRISCC Access Program. My name is Sabine Philippine. I'm working at the French Research Council, and within IRISCC, I'm responsible for defining the project's access strategy. The presentation is held on behalf of the coordinators, Jan Erin, as well as Päivi Hapalainen from UK Finland. So short motivation, climate change is already impacting ecosystems, people, and daily life. We're seeing, among others, more frequent droughts, floods, fires, and now water pollution, many other hazards and extreme events that have accelerated over this past few decades. Addressing these growing climate risks is the central mission of the EU project IRISCC. Next slide, please. So IRISCC is short for, you can go to the next slide. IRISCC is short for Integrated Research Infrastructure Services for Climate Change Risks. The objectives are to support Europe's capacity to address these risks and build resilience, to facilitate the excellent research and innovation capacity, and to offer innovative and comprehensive cross-RI climate risk service portfolio with an easy access for the users to access these services. It ensures a unique cross-RI integration and interoperability in order to maximize the use and the impact of these IRISCC services, particularly also for policy and climate actions. The benefits, very shortly in the next slide, are an increased research capacity. As you will see, it's a very comprehensive consortium to improve the understanding of the climate risks, but also to develop new solutions and services, because it combines a collaboration of different domains, which are earth system and environment, but also health, social sciences, and a couple of infrastructures and the European Risk Management Platform, but also to provide more effective climate policies for the policymakers. Next slide, please. So we can see here the consortium. It comprises 79 different institutions within Europe. 21 countries are participating and 14 different research infrastructures. It is coordinated by Luca in Finland. Next slide, please. So the project started on April 1st. It has a duration of 54 months and a budget of 14.5 million euros. The project is structured into different pillars. There's one pillar on user engagement, on the co-design of higher level knowledge services, and of course also the training of the different stakeholders that are involved. And then there's a second pillar for the integration of the different services, their implementation and harmonization, and the technical interoperability of the services and the data. And the focus really is on the third pillar, which is the service provision. And in the heart of it is the catalog of the services for the provision of transnational access and virtual access, and the management of both. In terms of the project outcomes, of course, there's many deliverables and milestones, but the idea is really to provide evidence-generated information through the TNA and the VA, including data and publications, but in particular to support decision-making and adaptation strategies. Next slide, please. So as I said before, the heart of the project is the catalog of the services that was established during the first year of the project. We're in the second year now. It's a one-stop shop to unique services where users can browse through the catalog by installation or by services. So there's multiple ways of exploring through multi-criteria search, through systems and hazards. And the idea is really that through the catalog of services, the project pilots its access program where users can access the services through access, transnational access and virtual access. Next slide, please. So each service is described in detail in the catalog of services. Through it, one can submit the request for a TA project. It connects the users with an interactive online platform, which is called PASS. It allows to select the specific call a user is interested to apply to, and PASS manages the users through the entire user access and selection process, and also connects with the providers and the external reviewers. And to illustrate the path, you can click to go to the next slide, please. The workflow follows the EU regulations. IRISCC uses a tier process with several steps. First, an overall eligibility step, then a feasibility check with the providers to ensure that the service is scientifically and technically feasible. Then it is followed by a peer review by external evaluators. They look at the scientific, again, technical relevance and impact, cross-disciplinarity, novelty and innovation, and the quality of the implementation, etc. And then finally, there's a scoring system that calculates whether the request meets the acceptance threshold. And once a request is accepted, a hosting agreement is to be signed before the project starts, and after completion, the reporting of the access is required. Next slide, please. The access program includes a series of several sequential calls that you can see here on the left-hand side from 2025 and 2027. We had a first call that was published in April this year. There are fixed deadlines, but there is an ad hoc evaluation panel of several hundreds of evaluators that participate right away once a proposal comes in. And then there's a final selection based on the threshold score. But we also have permanent calls. There's a continuous fast-track access in case of unexpected events, or in case of participants from users from Ukrainian institutions. And we also have a continuous virtual access opportunity with free and wide access without selection. Please click once. Who can apply? Well, it goes beyond the traditional research communities. We have a wide range of users, including users from other EU projects, commercial users, societal users, but also policymakers. Obviously, transnational access is important. We particularly welcome users from countries outside Europe within the 20% quota. The call, there's no specific call theme. It is defined by the IRIS scope, which is a challenge-driven scope related to the climate change-related risks, but cross-disciplinarity is very much encouraged. Next slide, please. What IRISCC offers is sponsored access to almost 100 facilities, experimental and observational facilities in and around Europe, modeling capacities and data infrastructures. It is really a comprehensive research capacity that offers cutting-edge possibilities for research. There are more than 200 services in the catalogs from 14 scientific domains and 65 subdomains. Access can be done either physical through hands-on access, but also remote and more hybrid access. There's a centralized entry point. It's a very efficient access process because everything is handled online. And then obviously there's also on-site logistic and administrative support, training and technical and scientific support. Next slide, please. So after the first release of the catalog of services this year to the existing services of the participating research infrastructures, there's also a plan to have a second and third release of the catalog of services to advanced added value services and products. First, to an integrated, so there's a second release planned in 2026 to advanced added value services and products. These are tailored data projects that target several climate risk areas, such as risks on human health, coastal regions, terrestrial and marine ecosystems, food security, etc. And then there's a second release in 2028 to co-designed knowledge services that require a transdisciplinary co-creation approach, including many different stakeholders, including the users, including the providers. That look at the socioeconomic impacts linked to climate change-related risks in specific regions or on specific continents. Please, next slide. So the currently open calls is we have now a second call open for access. Again, there's no specific theme other than the IRISCC scope, but it will end on November 28th. Then I mentioned before, we have two continuous calls as the fast-track access for researchers that want to access for climate emergencies or for Ukrainian researchers. There's a continuous open access for virtual access, and the third call is coming up and planned in February next year. So if you're interested, please check the IRISCC website or the catalog of services. And then I have one final slide because given the topic of today's webinar, I try to summarize a little bit the benefits to users from LAC countries. Please click once more. It is obviously relevant because the topic is a globally relevant topic. Climate risk, climate change related risks and data tools are available worldwide. There are very many collaboration opportunities. LAC researchers are not direct beneficiaries in the projects, but they can, of course, engage through transnational access or virtual access with the IRISCC facilities. Knowing that many of the RIs that are participating in IRISCC already collaborate with individual LAC research groups and networks. IRISCC provides expert support and capacity building because that also helps the researchers from these countries using the infrastructures effectively for their own climate change related risks. And obviously the new services that will be developed, they will be available for the researchers to analyze their climate change risks and to apply them to their own contexts. And with this, I think there's one last slide. I would like to thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sabine. This was very concise and informative, and also thanks for particularly paying attention to our audience from Latin America here. The last slide. Next in line is Olga Suminska-Ebersold. Olga, just sharing quickly the agenda so everybody can see the names. Olga, without further ado, please do share your presentation and start your presentation. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Just give me a second. I hope it works well. Yeah,
it's working.
Great. Okay, have a small problem now.
Just have to start the presentation, but we can see your screen already.
Okay. Oh no, it's the wrong, I think. Yeah. 1 second. Okay.
Excellent.
It's a little bit slow on my side. Just a second. So maybe I can start. Let's showing. It's okay for you if I stay in this mode.
No problem. Just go
No problem.
ahead.
Okay, so I will just go like this. So my name is Olga Suminska-Ebersold, and I work in Karlsruhe Institute of Technology. It's in Germany. And the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology is a coordinator of RISEnergy project. And here you can find a short content of what I will talk about. I will try to keep it quite short so that we don't lose too much time. So first of all, what's RISEnergy? RISEnergy stands for Research Infrastructure Services for Renewable Energy. And it's a Horizon Europe project with 4.5 years of duration, 14.5 million euros, and 68 organizations involved. What's very interesting, we have 84 research infrastructures in our project. On the map on your right-hand side, you can see the countries where they're coming from. And as you can see, they're not only European infrastructures, but they're also coming from Japan, USA, and from Canada. How do we define the renewable energy in our project? We defined a few target areas, and those are the target areas where our infrastructures are working in. So you can see here biofuels, CSP, offshore wind, ocean energy, and photovoltaics, energy storage, hydrogen, integrated grids, materials, and ICT. So that's all what we cover with our infrastructures. Here you can see the objectives of our project. I will not go through all of them, but as you can see, the second one is dedicated to provision of the transnational access on-site or remote, and the virtual access. And our aim is not only to provide access, but also to enable creation of organization or a platform where the different infrastructures coming from completely different fields work together and can exchange. So that's what we are working at right now. What you can see here is where we are right now. We already had 2 calls for proposals, and now the third one was closed in November. What you can see from the statistics of the 2 calls, we had 131 applications from the 15 different countries. The area that was most requested was the CSP, hydrogen and ocean energy. And we have a success rate of applications about 46 and 37%. So it means we take really only the best applications. Mostly because, of course, of the quality of the excellence that we want to deliver. And the second point, of course, because of the financial issues, we want to have enough money for everyone for our 7 calls. We had up to now 2 successful applications from Mexico. And I went through the third call when we are just evaluating right now. And I noticed that we have, again, many applications from Mexico, but also from Colombia and from Chile. So I think we are already well known in Latin America. Here you can see an example how our calls look like. So we have a topic. The topic does not change significantly up to now because we want to be very open. We don't want to push one area, technological area, more than another one. But it will change with the time. If we see, for example, that the accesses that we assign to CSPs are used, then we will just not allow any more applications for this kind of infrastructures. That's what you can see in the third call. We already excluded some research infrastructures, just to give the chance to other ones. This call is closed already. The next one will be open in March 2026, and we open every time 1 call in every 6 months. And I think we follow the standard evaluation process of European Commission. That's what you also saw in the last presentation. So we open the call, we have to check if the proposals are okay, if they're correct, if we do the feasibility check with RISE structural providers. We have selection panel that evaluates the proposals, and after that, we decide if access is rejected, accepted, and at some point, we, of course, after the accesses are finalized, we cover the costs to the research infrastructure provider, but also to the users. As we have really many applications, the process takes long, up to 4 months, depending when we start, when we end. So that's how it looks like. As I said, we closed the third call. The fourth will be in March, and we'll have 7 calls. We plan 7 calls in the project. What you can see here are just the, I think, main rules that we follow. We have a platform for submission, and we have, of course, platform when we present our infrastructures. And if we get some documents that are not applications given in our form, we just remove them from the system. We reject them completely, because in the first call we noticed we get a lot of applications in form of CVs, letters of motivation, and so on. So we don't even look at it. We don't pre-finance travel expenses. That's a question that we received many times. We are not able to do this because of legal issues of KIT and of the Commission. And we don't cover any visa fees or other costs incurred as a result of visa issues. So once again, we welcome, of course, users from Latin America, Caribbean, and so on. We cover transportation, accommodation, subsistence. We have some limits, but I think the rates are quite fine for traveling. We of course, now cover visa costs, no insurance costs. And you see there's some rules, but everything is given on our website. When you can just go through our deliverables, everything's written there, how we cover the cost, when, what's eligible, what's not eligible. Here you can see our team. as you can see, we are very international and we enjoy working together, and we hope to support the new users. There are 2 slides more, but they are just giving the overall rules of access through projects of European Union. So I think I can skip those slides. I think we are all aware about the rules. So that's everything from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga, for this quick but informative presentation. David, perhaps we can start right away with your presentation, which I think will be very interesting because this is a different model, but he will tell you more about it. Thank you.
I hope you see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see your screen and we can hear you
and
well.
I can put it in
presentation mode, yeah.
Let's see. So it is in presentation mode, right?
It is perfect.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. So, well, my name is David Buti, and I am a researcher at the Institute of Heritage Science of the National Research Council of Italy. And today I'm presenting E-RIHS on behalf of the whole group. I am a member of the team of the Central Hub. I'm in charge of the help desk, and I also I am managing the access activities of the national node of the infrastructure. So, E-RIHS is a research infrastructure working in the field of heritage science. The field brings together both the hard sciences such as physics, chemistry, computer science, and engineering, and also the humanities like conservation, archaeology, and art history. So said that, it is implicit that E-RIHS includes and looks at a very interdisciplinary community. The vision of E-RIHS is to keep cultural heritage alive, meaningful, relevant, accessible, and this for the benefit of present and future citizens. And to do so, it reveals all its historical and cultural layer while contributing to social and economic sustainability. Also, the mission of E-RIHS is clear. It is to connect researchers and professionals, provide them with innovative tools and services, and enhance the impact of heritage science for the benefit of the society. Central hub of E-RIHS is based in Italy, in Florence, in Manifattura Tabacchi. Manifattura Tabacchi is a sort of industrial neighborhood in Florence. It was formerly actually a factory for cigars. It has been renovated, restored, and now is a cultural hub in Florence. Hosts studios, architecture studios, exhibition venues. There is also a fashion design school, and also E-RIHS central hub. So at the heart of E-RIHS, as I said, there is the central hub that coordinates the national nodes that correspond to the funding countries of the E-RIHS consortium. Each national node brings together universities, museums, conservation centers, and research institutes, creating a single, cohesive global community. So the path that brought us to the establishment of E-RIHS as an ERIC, so as a permanent consortium, is the result of more than 20 years of European project, from the first networking initiatives and laboratory collaboration that started in the early 2000s, to the last European funded project, E-RIHS, that was concluded at the beginning of 2024. So, as I said, E-RIHS is now an ERIC, so a permanent consortium. It was established at the end of March 2025, thanks to the effort of the funding members that you can see listed in these slides. We have other countries such as Greece, Portugal, and Belgium that are now negotiating their entry into the consortium, and we have others as observers or permanent observers like ICROM. From the very beginning, The project has had a global dimension, so many non-European countries such as Argentina, China, the United States, and others have shown interest and have initiated collaborations with IRIS. So let's say that the strength of IRIS is access. This is a slide summarizing all the activities and initiatives, but let's say the main strength is the access to the services, physical and virtual. We also have some of the activities that are related to training with what we call HS Academy, so Heritage Science Academy, that organizes webinars, PhD summer school, training camp, and so on. We also have international cooperations. All these aiming at having an impact on research, innovation, and society. And I'm not going farther in describing these slides because, I mean, for time reasons. Just let me say that, as I said, that the strength of IRIS is access to the services, and we have celebrated in 2024 20 years of access to the infrastructure services. So we provide a unique point, access point, that is the catalog of services, as the other infrastructures. It is organized into 4 clusters of research facilities, which we call access platforms, that are summarized in the slides. Our access policy is designed to ensure fairness and transparency, and for the first call of access that was whose deadline was in September, we decided only to provide access based on scientific excellence, but looking ahead, this excellence-driven access will be complemented by additional access modalities that you can see in the slides, all aimed at fostering co-creation with the users and strengthening cooperation among providers. We will have wide access modes, market-driven access mode, matchmaking services, and thematic calls. As I said, so the catalog of services is the main entry point. We have a dashboard. Users can go there, create their own account, and browse the catalog of services. Currently, we have 121 services available, but every year we have provide new providers and new facilities suggesting new services to be added to the catalog. So after the first call, we will have more services that will be available for users applying. To request access to the IRIS services, users have obviously to submit a project proposal. Here, this is just a summary of what a project proposal should include. After the deadline, we have 4-month evaluation. Similarly to the other infrastructure, we have first the eligibility check, feasibility by the providers, evaluation by the peer review panel, and then in the end there is a ranking. I'm reporting in these slides the different ways that the criteria have in the evaluation of the proposals. As I said, the first pilot call was concluded in September. Starting from 2026, we envision to have regularly 2 calls each year with 2 cutoff deadlines, one at the end of March, one at the end of September. So if you want to know more, stay tuned and check our IRIS website. And very quickly, I would like just to mention the different platforms for access. So the 4 platforms are RClub, FixLab, DigiLab, and MoLab. So the RClub platform provides access to scientific archives and reference collections held by museums, galleries, and research institutes across Europe. And these include technical images, conservation reports, analytical data, and sample materials. We have then DigiLab, that is the platform dedicated to digital data generated by the other platforms. but those digital data are also complemented with digital tools for creative new knowledge. Then we have FixLab. That is the platform that provides access to large-scale research facilities, including synchrotron, particle accelerators, neutron laboratories. All these facilities used for the study of movable artworks and heritage samples. And then last but not least, we have MOLAB. MOLAB, that is the platform dedicated to mobile laboratories. It is really the revolutionary contribution provided by E-RIHS to the heritage science community, because MOLAB gives access to mobile instruments that are moved and installed in museums, archaeological sites, for the study of immovable or fragile objects. And the analyses are performed on site by highly skilled teams using non-invasive and multi-technique diagnostics. So just to show you some images of the MOLAB van, because very, very often the laboratory traveled on wheels. And here it is just a map of Europe to show you all the different places that we have reached in the past 20 years, reaching artworks such as paintings by masterpieces by great artists such as Raffaello, Leonardo, Picasso, Edvard Munch, and so on. And just because I want to connect also to one of the collaborators, so the CELAC consortium, I would like to mention some of the projects that E-RIHS have carried out in the past years on objects originally coming from Latin America that now are in European museums and collections. So we have provided, thanks to the MOLAB facility, access to study the material composition of these objects that are now in Europe. And with this, I have concluded my presentation.
Thank you, David. Thanks for the presentation. And we're running a bit late, as you know, but I see that still almost everybody's in the webinar. So I think we still have a few minutes for questions and answers. So if you do have questions and answers to our speakers, then please raise your hand, and then we will have the opportunity to gain some more insights. So I don't see any questions here. Let me maybe, Andrea?
Yes, Johannes, I take this opportunity to say that in the chat, you can find the satisfaction survey on the DNA webinar that REACH Europe always provides. So it is important for us to have your feedbacks in order to improve this kind of services, to better understand how to improve it. So thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. I was about to say the same thing, taking the time that we have now. Excellent. So yeah, please do fill in the survey, and remember that this was recorded, so the webinar will be on the website, and all the information on these interesting opportunities for researchers will also be, of course, in the recording, but also on the website. So do feel free to access them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just have one question. I'm from Serbia, from the Mining Institute, and the question is maybe to Dr. Sabine Philippine, if I pronunciation good. So I'm from Serbia, and is there some obstacle to participate in your program, for example, concerning critical raw materials? I saw on your slide that you mentioned you have international users about 20%, and also I think you prefer EU consortium in the in the project? What is the possibility to submit some project proposal?
So first of all, there is no obstacle in the sense of you need to respect the deadlines for the calls. So you need to check the schedule. That is the most important thing. The 20% that are linked to international users, but here I'm really referring to users that are outside Europe, European member and associated states. This is an EU rule to keep it within a quota of 20%, but this is a bit flexible, and if needed, this can also be argued, and there's ways around it. So this is not really an obstacle, and I'm not really sure what you refer to critical material. Maybe you can let me know what you mean by that.
For example, critical raw materials, for example, metals, lanthanoid and actinoid, such as europium, cesium, yttrium. First of all, trying to get these elements from the waste, different kind of waste.
So you're saying that this is material that you would need to use in order to do your research. That means if you access the facilities, you would need to transport these materials to the facilities. Is that your question?
Yes.
In this case, I think this needs to be checked with the organization, because there are different rules, local hygiene and security rules, and this really refers to what is how it is regulated in the specific country, but also with the specific organizations. And this is something, I mean, IRIS can help you find the correct place, but then it needs to be checked with the access provider. And in general, what we do recommend is always to contact the access providers when you plan a project, because that already helps to make it more successful in the process itself.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Josep, for the question. Also to Sabine for answering this. Just to complement that, Serbia is associated to Horizon Europe, and as such would not count as an international user, but as a European user. So here, that is even less of a problem. But of course, this is relevant. What could be relevant for users from outside the European research area and from countries who have not associated themselves to Horizon Europe. Often, in the case of Latin American countries, they do have opportunities to access, or almost always under this international quota or as middle or low income countries. So no problem here. Yeah. So is there any other question from the audience to our speakers? Claudia, I see you nodding, but you're still muted. You have to unmute yourself.
I have a question to Olga from the, to David, from the research infrastructure in E-RIHS, because for our side, it's very difficult to try to understand or to join to some infrastructure that not is related with the typical infrastructure, energy, solarium, or other more hard science. And in the past, E-RIHS was involved through RESINFRA project. How you can say the possibility? How you can see the possibility to try to? It's for all of you to try to identify specific research infrastructure in Latin America, and you can show again this opportunity not only for the representative of the government, specific for their research infrastructure, because there are a lot of interest, but sometimes they didn't know how to apply to the different possibilities that you show today.
I'm not sure I understood completely the question. So can you try to repeat the question? I mean,
if it is possible to organize a new meeting with a
yeah, of course. Yes,
people,
yeah.
is involved in research infrastructure, but in social science. Because
Yes,
not
of
social,
course.
because it's more common that the people understand what are the interconnection with other type of science, but it's more difficult for them to identify the possibilities to share infrastructure specific in heritage, for example.
Yes, we do it also within our field. I'm trying to, disseminate and trying to make clear what kind of services we can provide also to non-expert users in our field. So this is something that can be extended also to other countries or other, as you said, other communities not from the field. So definitely we can organize a meeting to explain what we do and how we can help non-expert user to apply to our services.
Thank you, David, also for your availability. Okay, so since we're running late already, and I think a lot of people will have meetings following this one, let me draw attention once more to the evaluation survey that has been shared by Andrea in the chat. Please do fill it in. And yeah, thanks to everybody, especially to our speakers for presenting the opportunities, for giving us some background on the political framework and the opportunities offered in the European Union CELAC cooperation framework. Yeah, let's hope this will be the beginning of a series, and we will continue, I think, similar webinars in the future. I think this will be very interesting for researchers from all our continents. And yeah, thanks again. Have a great afternoon or a great day for those based in the Western Hemisphere. And yeah, thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Okay, thank you, Johan.
Thank you,
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have
Thank
a
you
nice
very
day.
much. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.